I decided what I was going to do was, rather than relying on Amazon reviews, I was just going to do my own test and find the batteries that work best for me, and then I let you guys know about it. So that's exactly what I did. And so what we have here are the 4 highest rated. Well, this is the highest rated. Canon's the highest rated, but these are the 4 highest rated batteries on Amazon as of last week when I ordered them, in no particular order, and I didn't look any deeper than that. So what we have here is Artman, Up, Beston, and then Wasabi. This is a brand I've used a lot. I was glad to see that made it to the top of the list because I trust that brand. So, and I'm going to say up front, if you don't use off-brand batteries, I'm not trying to talk you into it. If you don't feel comfortable with that, don't do it. I've used them on all my cameras. That ship sailed for me a long time ago. I've never had any serious problems, but I would hate to talk you into something like this and then you have a problem. So anyways, if you're already a generic battery person, then this is hopefully this will be helpful for you. So here was my criteria of testing that I went through, and granted, I haven't spent a lot of time on these. I can't vouch for their longevity, obviously, or quality control or anything like that. I can only tell you what I've seen and what mattered to me in my testing. So my deal breakers were, obviously, it needed to fit in the camera. Okay, that was non-negotiable. And then there needed to not be any errors that prevented the battery from working. Again, I know that sounds strange, but I've run into it. It's really weird. Like, I don't know what it is with this particular style of battery, but, and then lastly, it needs to show a battery indicator. It doesn't do me any good to have power if I can't see how much power is left. That's like driving without knowing how much gas is in your car. Yeah, you can keep going, but you can have some idea, but eventually it's going to get you in trouble. And in this case, like that's just a deal breaker for me. Now, the other thing, I guess you can't see these. Let me get down here. The other thing that is important to me, but not necessarily a deal breaker, this is just stuff that I hate personally, is, are there error messages? Is it constantly trying to tell you whenever you have a generic battery in? Is it like guilting you? I don't want to mess with that. Will it charge in the Canon charger? So can I take these batteries and put it in the Canon charger here and charge my batteries? And if not, am I able to actually take the Canon battery and put it in its charger? So I don't really care which charger I end up using. What I want is to only have to use one. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to walk around just because I have 2 different Canon batteries. I don't want to have to walk around with like a Wasabi charger and a Canon charger just because these 2 don't talk. So one of those 2 things has to work for me. It either has to, the generic battery has to charge in the Canon charger, or the Canon battery has to charge in the generic battery charger. I hope that makes sense. And then other things that I look for when it comes to buying preferences is the price. Obviously, all of these were around $25 plus or minus. And then I have preferences regarding charger shape. I prefer this style of charger because not only does it charge 2 batteries at once, which is pretty common. It works off USB. That's another thing. All of these work off micro USB. Yuck. Okay, but that's just across the board. This is what they use. None of them are USB-C. So just be aware of that. But I like this style of charger because in addition to charging the batteries, it also kind of holds them like a battery bag, and it fits very well in my camera bag versus something like this, where I can't just stick this in my camera bag sideways and have it, slide between my phone and my wallet or something like that. I hope that makes sense. So that's me. That's what I look at when I'm buying batteries. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to cut to the chase here. I'm going to tell you up front, all of these batteries passed the first 4. They all fit in the camera. There were no error message. I was delighted to see that. They all show battery life indicator, which is great. And there are no error messages that pop up. So that surprised me because one of these even had a long list of things. The Artman had a long list of things it said it couldn't do, but it actually did them. So that was good. Where we started getting into trouble here, though, is when it came down to using the Canon charger to charge these batteries, or these chargers to charge the Canon batteries. And long story short, none of them would charge in the Canon battery charger, and the Canon battery charger wouldn't charge in any of these. I hope that makes sense. So, but luckily, the Canon battery will charge and the Wasabi battery charger. So for me, I think this is where I landed on all this. So here's my synopsis. Here's my suggestion. I'll have links to all of these below if you want to go check them out. This is easy to say if you have barrels of money. if you live with a silver spoon up your butt. Canon batteries are definitely the best, and when you see them side by side, you'll understand it. They're all the appropriate size. Even though these fit in the camera, they didn't fit great. I understand why one of them got stuck on me one time. These slide in and out. They have a more refined feel to them. I don't care about that. I just wanted to make sure it works. It's not worth $60 to me versus at $25 for two of them, that's $12 each. So it's almost 5 times as much. It's not that much nicer. I mean, that's crazy, So, but if you have money to burn and you want what is probably the best battery, it's going to be the Canon, and that's going to be your best choice. If you're like me and you want to use your Canon battery and you want to use your Wasabi, or you want to use your off-brand batteries and mix them, I'm going to have to go with Wasabi right now, because this will just be my main charger, and I'll charge everything on that. So when I go somewhere, I only have to bring one charger. Even though it's not my preferential charger, none of these will work with the Canon battery. So if you want to mix and match Canon with others, right now Wasabi is the way to go. I'm okay with that because this happens to be a brand I trust. I've used it before and I've never had any serious issues with it. So that works for me. However, if you don't care about needing 2 chargers, or you're starting completely from scratch, say you bought your camera used and it doesn't have a battery at all, any of these would work. In fact, you could get these all mix and match. So these, in fact, I mean, if you just look at this, it's kind of obvious they all came from the same place. Like, all the chargers are designed the exact same way. It's just a different wrap on it. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if this is a fact, but I wouldn't be surprised if they all came out of the exact same factory. So, yeah, I would just pick any of these that happens to be the cheapest, because like I said, they all had great reviews and they all interplay well with each other. They just don't work well with the Canon battery. So you're going to have to either keep 2 chargers or just use the off-brand. So that's my suggestions. Like I said, I'm going to go with Wasabi because it's a brand that I trust, and because it works with the Canon batteries. And that's where I'm at. So hopefully, guys, you find this helpful. I'll have the links below if you want to check this stuff out. And that's it. Thanks for watching.